Hey, so hope it's going well. Bayern Munich versus Leipzig on Friday, December the 20th. It was a very, very good match. It was a very good match. Bayern Munich won 5-1. Despite it was 5-1, there were some good Leipzig games, especially in the first 15 minutes of the first half. Even the first 10 minutes, it was very, very tough, very, very good. Happy for what I've seen. It was very, very high level counter team counter-attacking team against possessive team. So Bayern Munich again, I mean obviously more possession, and Leipzig were more the counter-attacking team, and both showcased high level game in their respective systems. So again, counter-attacking and possessive. Um, yeah, very good match, honestly. Very, very good match. I loved it. But then eventually, after the third goal by Munich, Leipzig, they couldn't really find their rhythm. And when you get to concede the third goal, it's 3-1. It's tough. It gets into your head, and everything went to Bayern Munich's side. But the first 10, 15 minutes, first half in general, it was pretty competitive. So, but then second half it just was Bayern Munich. It was their night, and yeah, well done for Bayern Munich. So right now I'll tell you the analysis of what I've seen, and hope you guys like it. So yeah, to summarize the whole thing, Bayern Munich were dominating the match. It was obvious. Leipzig, I don't think Leipzig's coach will tell in the dressing room to Leipzig, "Oh, you will have the ball." No, expect guys that you won't have the ball, but let's make it right. We can beat them, but we should find the right tactics as we've been training for Bayern Munich in the last at least the few days. We did what we should do. We did everything. Let's apply them on the pitch, which is blah 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 blah. As a coach myself, that's what I will say. As a Leipzig coach myself, if I was in the place of Leipzig's coach, I will never say, "Oh, you will have the ball." Let's be realistic, right? So yeah, Leipzig were counter-attacking. They did pretty well, especially in the first 10, 15 minutes. But then things were getting slowly more Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich were just keeping the same rhythm. They were playing at home. They were comfortable and everything. So they took advantage. Took advantage of home soil. They took advantage of the minutes per minute. Then eventually they were able to score the first, second, third, till the fifth goal. So hats off to the Bayern Munich. That it's not a surprise. It's one of the best clubs of all time, the greatest clubs of all time. For me, the best club in the history of Germany, and in recent times, right now, in Germany, one of the best clubs in the world right now as well. So Bayern Munich is a giant club. It's a world class club, legendary club. Sorry, and yeah, well done. So we'll see what's next. Looking forward for the next matches. So thank you all, and enjoy. So here is Bayern Munich as a 4-2-3-1 formation, with two defenders here, like two central defenders and two wing backs. So what's very good in possession, especially when they were getting pressed, or not really pressed, like more like getting set up, by two strikers, because the other team were playing five defenders, but with two strikers, so like a 5-3-2 formation. Then when they were attacking, they were usually putting one of those guys calling for the ball right here, and at times they were even putting one of them in wing, and it's actually more the wing back. So if the ball was on this side, you used to bring this guy in wing, eliminating completely the left back position as a player, like having a player over there. So what they did, they've had those two guys calling for the ball laterally like this, but more often like this. They used to bring them back here. So what happened? As soon as he has the ball, they automatically go to the box. But now Bayern Munich having the ball, when there were some space enough here, they kept Joshua Kimmich as a defensive midfielder right here, just distributing the ball and everything. And so often, because Leipzig was defending very well right here, bringing those that wing back moving more backwards, and then there were those two guys here. Automatically, the wing back was taking the winger, obviously. So then the midfielders were taking the wing backs of Bayern Munich. So then what happened? They put the left back, they put him up, the right back, they put him up, as obviously they're scoring here. Then with those two guys, Kimmich was becoming a central defender, and Upamecano, that's on the right side, moving on this side. So what happens with some possession, it clears up the space here, and they bring Bayern Munich players here, so which opens some space right there. So with the possession, Kimmich has the ball and can automatically give it to Upamecano if he hears his block. If not, right away you can find a wing back, and from there you will see a lot of space because it's well condensed here. The match of yesterday was really, on Friday, December 20th, it was really based on this thing. And even Leipzig used to do it. They used to put condensation. They used to put some volume on this side to make the left back becoming a left winger and receiving cross from all the way here. So then it opens the game, clears up space, and the guy will have time to try to do something, shoot or cross, while finding at least two guys in the box. And till the time Bayern Munich comes to defend, it will be so hard for them. It will be very hard for them to go defend. So that's how it was, this match. And Bayern Munich used to do the same thing. So for example, Alphonso Davies moved literally as left winger, putting Sane more central here, like a striker, combined with Harry Kane. Olise, that was here in left wing, stayed there. So what happened? Possession. Olise, for example, gives it to Alphonso Davies while doing his run. Because if Alphonso Davies stays there, what happens? You just block him, they have time to block him, and it's predictable. To be unpredictable, you make possession, you stay there as a wing back on the left side, then you call for the ball automatically, and right away you receive the ball, which makes Sane as a left winger that plays on the same line as you, already been there. Maybe combining as a 1-2, or if not, being in attack with Harry Kane, Olise coming here for the rebound possibly. And you got Leimer being there. So that, by the way, about this, it was very smart what they did, Bayern Munich, putting where it was. Yeah, so let's say Leimer here, Kimmich. So basically, it was very good how Kimmich was literally coming there, so which will leave up space for Upamecano. So it becomes literally like a 5 defender, but on the right side. You know what I mean? So more players and the midfielder were coming more there, which will leave up space for Alphonso Davies. And then, if it's blocked on the right side, they find a third man and find Alphonso Davies. And if it's not blocked, they find Leimer and they find Davies right here. And then they will find Harry Kane maybe laterally like this, calling for the ball laterally. Maybe finding that third man right here, combining with Leimer, but without giving to Leimer because it's a bit too far. So Leimer maybe can give the ball to Goretzka, and then he gives it to Harry Kane. You got Davies, you got Sane right here, or Sane calling for the ball more like this, has the ball, can shoot, try to find Davies, and try to find then the Kimmich and those players then. That's very wise. So yeah, that match was really possession like this. Was really a game where Bayern Munich dominated the match. It was obvious. It was like this. It would be like this. Leipzig counter-attacking in the way I said. That's one of the ways they were counter-attacking. And then what happened? Leipzig didn't want to keep the ball so much because Bayern Munich were playing quite high press when they were defending. A little bit like man-to-man, but not 100%. Like it was 100% man-to-man, but it was quite high press. So then what happened, they used to call for the ball like this. Then as soon as the ball is on the right side, the guy comes automatically left winger. But the thing is that with Leipzig, what I've noticed, when the game was on the left side, it wasn't the wing back here that did the same activity as his partner, the other wing back. I don't know why. It was quite weird. But their tactic was really one conservative, one forward, one attacking. That's not a bad thing because in case they're counter-attacking, and they knew like the Alphonso Davies Sane line were much more dangerous than Olise and Leimer. Like Olise and Leimer is not the guy that is the most offensive guy, but Davies and Sane are the most offensive guy. Like it's more dangerous offensively. Maybe it was because of this, but still Olise is a, like he's a badass player, honestly, you know. So that's pretty much it. So I think Leipzig, what was missing was, as I said, more being conservative, not being afraid of getting pressed, trying to play in 2-3 touches, finding each other. In training, it should have been done. Improving that third man aspect. You have the ball, you distribute the ball, and you find a third man guy. The third man gives it back to the defense. You find the left back. You call for the ball then, for example. So I repeat, let's say, this is a striker. You have the ball automatically. Central defense, you find a third man easily. You give it back to the wing back. Then you call for the ball. Then you come to support right here. So you receive the ball, you give it back. That wing back comes here. Taking the risk. I know it's tough for Bayern Munich, especially on that side. I understand. Despite Olise's side was very, very tough. Very, very dangerous and good. But I think they should have put in more risk. So then the goals came. The goal came from Leipzig, and some opportunities came mainly for that side though. Their goal came from that side literally. As far as I remember, yeah. So that's why it's very important to not focus only on one side, to focus on both sides, and that's very, very crucial, very important. So literally, Bayern Munich were playing on all sides, and that's an aspect also of what they won. And also, they were dominating with the ball. They were patient. They were taking the risk as well. Because listen, when Davies comes too high, it leads for counter-attack. Despite again, Kimmich was coming there. So instead, on the left side, the other defender was coming that side, and Kimmich here, or Goretzka here, which leads Goretzka here if Kimmich is here. So Goretzka becomes the third man if Kimmich is right here. If not, it's Kimmich that becomes the third man if Goretzka comes on that place. So it's 3 behind. And Goretzka and Kimmich are very good defenders though. Like they're very good midfielders, but have defensive abilities. So despite, like Kimmich is a short guy, you know. Bayern Munich were really that's German classic. They love to be conservative in defense. All the way they love to be conservative, but especially in the first meters. The first 20, 30, 40 meters maximum. So up to maximum here, approximately. They used to find our third man. Automatically, they put high volume forward from the wing backs. The players, the winger, as soon as the left back comes, the winger becomes literally a striker or an offensive midfielder. So that leaves us space to the wing back, and attempting crosses, the guy comes here for the header. And who's better than the Germans in header scenarios? Almost nobody. So if there's anybody that's better, or at least competitive with the Germans, that's literally the whole game. Possession. They were defending with 2 guys in front because they were playing as a 5-3-2 formation defense. So literally like this, 5-3-2. You see, so 5 guys, so 3 central defenders, plus 2 wing backs, 3 midfielders. That guy can move there, can be in attack. So 3 guys and 2 forward. Possession. And that's very solid 5 like this. So Bayern Munich were really finding these sides, that those lines, sides. Then what happened? They found those midfielders that were becoming like clearly all midfielders, third mans, turning the ball to the side again, attempting crosses. Like there were maybe 1,500 crosses for Bayern Munich. And that's how it is. That's pretty much it. And when you're defending 5 defenders, it's hard to attack. And Leipzig obviously were preferring the draw than the win, you know? Not that they win, but they would rather draw but not lose than try to win and lose. You get it? So, or maybe have lots of risk of losing despite they've lost 5-1. So again, I repeat, Leipzig, the problem was they weren't being able to find often, especially on the right side, the wing backs to be able to cross more often, to bring more volume, to try more shots from far, to be more conservatives. Also, taking that risk. If you lose that ball, like at least you've tried. That's my opinion as a coach. You've tried. But if you just play and try to find those guys, you can find them often. Despite the first goal was very impressive, it was one way that they were able to score. But it won't. If it works once or twice, it won't work like 15,000 times. Let's be honest. So that's pretty much it. Harry Kane, very good job by Harry Kane. Harry Kane find a third man, one option, then try to give it to the sides, attempting some shots, giving back to the midfielder, trying to do some shots, or giving back, or maybe waiting for the left back or right back, trying to make headers, calling for the ball. First post, second post. That was very good from Harry Kane, and sometimes, Harry Kane tried to call for that ball in between defenders, so the wing back and the central defender trying to call for the ball like this. It was very good. But mainly what he did, third man giving the ball back, repositioning, or waiting for the crosses, because there were the wing backs already there breaking the lines. Or maybe Sane as a wing back, let's say Davies came there, Sane wasn't on the same line. It wasn't often that he came to the same line, so maybe Davies gives the ball and comes from behind. It was more Davies leaving the space, Leimer leaving the space, so Olise becoming that guy here, and Davies having the ball, Sane living up here. So maybe they give it to the midfielder, then you break the lines with Sane, or you give the ball to Goretzka, let's say. You try a cross, finding Sane. Sometimes he counterattacks, what was very wise, because Leipzig at some point, they were making some volume here, some good volume. They were playing well. Then Bayern Munich had the ball. Davies was defending, which leaves, again, Sane moving. They have attempted to break the lines in crosses, finding Sane in that side. Harry Kane was already there. But again, if we understood now, if Davies comes that way, it will leave Sane to automatically come here. Because you already have the holder midfielders. You have that offensive midfielder Musiala sometimes coming to support, which makes him is a 4-3 formation. If Musiala comes also that way, 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-4-2. 4-4-2. 4 guys, 4 defense, 2 strikers. But in this way, what happened? Musiala was there, Sane was there. When it was time to cross, there were already 3 guys here, plus Olise here. And sometimes there were even 4 guys. That's also an aspect why Bayern Munich were able to make good crosses and being effective, scoring literally most of the goals by crosses. So one last time, Bayern Munich, possession, finding the right midfielder to give it to the wing back, while having enough guys in attack, at least almost every time, 3 guys or 2 guys, but usually at least 3 guys, finding crosses, at 4 guys, and being a German, I don't think you will miss, So yeah.